What's up guys, High Value Hacks back with another weekly video. Today we're going to be talking about the abundance mindset. For all of you that have been tuning into the previous videos, welcome back. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Joe. I'm an entrepreneur, investor, life, business, and relationship coach. First thing I want to address about the abundance mindset is I got a lot of comments over the past couple weeks about some of the videos that were done in regards to mindset. Some people were saying, well, mindset isn't real. The growth mindset isn't real. The abundance mindset doesn't exist. I don't really necessarily think that a mindset is a permanent thing. It could be temporary. You can go in and out. Trust me, there's days I wake up and I am in just the shittiest mood, especially if I hadn't had my coffee first, but I'm driving to work. I hate everybody on the road, but I think it's just more about awareness and coming in and out of these mindsets that really help you. Because if you don't know what it takes to create a mindset and you're not aware of the circumstances around you, you can never say, okay, my mind's going in the wrong direction now. Kind of need to fix it, get myself back to where I need to be in a positive energy, in a positive state, get back to grinding, get back to where I need to be. So, what is the abundance mindset? You gotta be very careful. There's a lot of stuff out there in terms of content where I feel like could be gender biased or just kind of being thrown out there and saying the abundance mindset is the belief that you can have any woman you want in the world, and if you do that, you can have it. Okay, maybe, but it's not that simple. The abundance mindset could be spread out between both genders, any individual, just from a little tweaks in your thinking. To me, the abundance mindset is more about fixing the way you look and rewording things. Instead of saying I have to, I get to, right? So I have to go see the kids. No, you get to see the kids because there's people out there that don't even have the opportunity. They can't have children. I have to go to work. You get to go to work. You get to go to the gym because there's people out there that can't even walk, that physically can't get, that are on their deathbed with cancer or something like that. So that brings us into the technical definition of what is the abundance mindset. Now bear with me as I look at the board. No matter how many times I study these things and I'm familiar with it, I'm always drawn to looking at it anyway, so just bear with me a little bit, okay? Positive thinking and belief that the world is full enough of time and resources to achieve your goals. You can achieve and accomplish anything if you truly believe you can and you're deserving of it. Now, the abundance mindset is very similar to the growth mindset that we did about 2 videos ago. If anyone tuned into that, if not, I suggest you check it out. The opposite would be the scarcity mindset, which is similar to the fixed mindset, which is negative thinking and fear, excuses, and false self-validation. That's wonderful, but what do these things mean? So, if you were to look at the world in abundance, right, and you had circumstances and goals that you wanted to accomplish, first you ask yourself how important are they to you? Well, I think that if something's really important to you, you make time. I want to go to the gym, but I don't have time, okay? Scarcity mindset. You're automatically just dismissing the fact that you're not going to the gym and you're not reading, or maybe you're not focusing on your career as much because you don't have time. Well, to me, that's an excuse, because if anything's important enough to you, you make time for it. If you sleep 8 hours a day, let's say you work 7 days a week and you work 8 hours a day, let's just say you have an hour of travel each way too. Okay, that's 18 hours. All right, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That gives you 6 hours a day to do what you need to do. Now, if you want to tell me that you don't have an hour to work on yourself somewhere, whether it be reading, studying, maybe a side hustle, or going to the gym, you're full of shit, okay? You're telling yourself that you don't have time, so it feels better that you're not doing it. Well, I got an excuse, so I don't need to do it anymore, okay? When you live into abundance, you look at the world and say, okay, there's certain things that I want out of life, and there's certain things that I want to do. Now, it's not a lack of resources so much, it's a lack of resourcefulness. You're not taking advantage of moving around things and shifting things and prioritizing things and making new habits to get you to where you want to go. It's easier for people to say, well, I'm not where I want to be because I don't have time, or things are just slow. The economy's just not working out. You know what? I'm not fortunate enough. You need money and I don't just have that. Well, there's a lot of people that didn't have money that made it very far in life, but they found a way, right? Because they recognized that the world is full of enough resources to do what they need to do. It's not easy to find out what it is you need to do or what resources are available for you to use, but if you care about it that much, you'll find a way, right? That's what brings up the scarcity mindset and why it could be so bad in terms of going about your day-to-day life. Just to share a story with you recently, I had one of my employees come to me because over the past week, their sales were struggling a little bit in their showroom. And they go to me, it's just been slow, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, well, we need to look at our factors here. What's within our control? Now, we know we can't control the economy. We can't control interest rates. We can't control people's spending trends. But let's take a look at the things that we can control and maximize those to maximize our performance, right? Where are we coming up short? First thing I do is I check the advertising for them. I check this, I check that, everything seems fine. Then I go to the website and I see that they were running a promotion on the web page, the homepage. First thing that you see that expired 5 days ago. Well, I noticed that their sales dropped off to the day. So I said to them, do you think that this has anything, they were in charge of it, so do you think this has anything to do with it? No, people don't come in off of that. I'm like, really? You think it's a coincidence that you slowed down to the day because if it's expired? If you were a consumer and you went on that website and saw you were running a promotion and it's over, would it entice you to get up and visit the showroom? It doesn't matter. It's not that. It's the economy. I can't control it. And we went back and forth. Eventually, they came around and they realized, all right, there are things that we need to fix and change because things are always changing. You always need to be pivoting in business and in life because the factors are not always going to be consistent. Competition becomes fierce. People want what you want and everyone's fighting for it. So you always got to find a way to kind of pivot and figure out how you're going to get ahead of everyone else, right? They were talking from a scarcity mindset. People get into the habit of being so afraid of admitting to themselves that maybe they failed in some way. Listen, it sucks to suck. I get it. I've had circumstances for a long time. I've had thousands of failures, but if you can't take those in stride and laugh about them and realize like, hey, this is a good thing. Now this is going to teach me what I need to change. And now I can learn something new. And now I have a new opportunity to get better at what I'm doing. And that's going to take me further in success and goals. Another thing I wanted to address about mindset. Everybody correlates abundance mindset and growth mindset and positive mindset directly with success. But see, people seem to take success and think that success is only measured on how much money you have, which is false. Success is subjective to the person. There's a lot of areas of your life to be considered successful. Some people don't care about money. I mean, I think it's important to have financial security for your kids and whatever else and for your legacy, but I don't think money makes a person. Actually, in my opinion, it does not at all. I think that there's a lot of things that make up people that make them successful rather than money, such as quality of relationships with their family, their lovingness, their health, their overall mental well-being. This all kind of ties into the wheel of life of what we've spoken about the past couple of videos. So I don't think that success is correlated with money, and I think that's a big thing you see out there. If you want to be successful, you got to have a lot of money. Okay, well, half of those people that have all that money are miserable. Did you ever think why they're so miserable? Probably because that's all they focused on, and their entire other portions and aspects that make up that wheel of life are completely empty, right? So if you could find that nice balance where like, I want to make a good amount of money, I want to be successful, but at some point that's enough for me to be happy and I could focus on my other areas of life, I think that's where the mindset really hits home. And like I said, mindset is in and out. It's not a constant thing. I live in the abundant mindset 24/7. No, I can live in it today, and then tomorrow morning, I could be having a real bad day, and it takes me 2-3 days to get back there, right? It fluctuates, and that's normal. But as long as you're aware to it, I've been off the past couple of days. All right, cool. What do I have to do to get myself back into that place to keep grinding and keep going? And that's what we're gonna get into in the later part of the video. Your mind tends to see what you look for and then they make it a reality. If I turned around to you and you went out and you started driving your car and you said, everybody just sucks at driving, all you're gonna see are the people that are terrible drivers. And you're gonna have a horrible drive there because you're only focusing on the negative aspect of the experience, right? If you weren't so focused on the bad things and you were more focused on good things, you'd see good things, right? goes for everything else in life. If you're only looking for the things you don't have, or you're only looking at things that other people have, oh, it must be nice, they have that's great, must be nice to come from money. Well, there's nothing you can do about that, right? Drives me crazy too, but at the end of the day, where am I really getting value from that? And if it's gonna cause me frustration and agony, it's not worth my time. Who cares? Just keep grinding, keep wanting you wanna go. But the way you look at things, that's what becomes a reality. It's that mindset shift. It's that language shift. Oh my God, I gotta go to work today. You get to go to work today, because there's a lot of people that don't have that opportunity. You may not have millions of dollars, and there's people out there that seem like no matter how shitty of a person they are, they get all the breaks. Well, welcome to reality. It's never gonna be you. Things may be harder for you. You may have not as good of opportunities to get things done, but you gotta realize that that's the fact, embrace it, and just keep moving forward. So it's that big language shift that's gonna help too. Look at things in a more positive spin, change it into a positive language that you get to do something, you get to overcome these goals, and it's a journey, and you'll feel fulfilled at the end of it. It's opportunity versus hopelessness. I have the opportunity to take a really shitty situation. You know, when I used to go through something crazy and I used to tell people, you know, just look up into the sky and think that there's just a hurricane around you and you're in the middle of the eye of it, right? What are you gonna do? You're in this storm. You have the option of just giving up, which is hopelessness, and letting the factors around you dictate the rest of your life, or you can plow your way out of that hurricane with the opportunity of it being there and create the life you wanna live. Nobody's gonna do it for you. I hate to tell you. No one's gonna wake you up in the morning, get you out of bed, and make you go to the gym. I mean, people love you, but they don't care that much. No one's gonna make sure your mortgage is paid on time. No one's gonna pay your bills. So why should you care about what other people are doing or what their opinions are? I mean, loved ones are different. It's actually funny because the guys at work, we actually have fun with this. So every morning that, the mornings that I do come into the office, the guys that are familiar with my YouTube channel going on, they're like, hey Joe, have you gotten any bad YouTube comments lately? So the whiteboard that's actually right behind me that you can't see has the most recent comment on it. It's in Portuguese because someone that works here is Spanish. So I was like, what does this mean? So hysterically laughing, it's on the board word for word. What type of shitty haircut is that man? In Portuguese. So they're laughing, I'm laughing. Hey, listen, I know a lot of people probably don't like my hair. I like my hair. Thank God those people aren't paying my bills. So why should it really matter? I want to pay my mortgages. You know, do they want to pay my bills? If not, great. I don't know you, who cares? I like my hair. That's the end of the day. But the funniest thing about it was my other associate says to me, hey, you got to take a picture of that comment, man, and send it to your barber and say, hey, this is unacceptable, man. What these people hate my hair. So we just had a good laugh at it. But I had the option of letting something like that ruin my day or making a laugh out of it, right? So now it doesn't bother me anymore. So hopelessness versus opportunity. That works into optimistic too. Challenges are to be embraced. That's just what we spoke about with the hurricane. Challenges that are in front of you, hate to tell you, you're always gonna have challenges. Why me? Why am I going through this? Why is this happening to me? All right, it's not gonna be the first time and it's not gonna be the last time. When it rains, it pours. You're gonna get through something and then something else is gonna come about. Hate to tell you, if you could sit there and look at it like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to do something good. It's an opportunity for me to grow, to learn something and become a better person. You will grow. And as you level up, you don't notice you're leveling up, but the people around you will start to see it. Gratitude is huge. Huge for me because until I learned it, it didn't make sense. So you can't really be appreciative or thankful for the things you don't acknowledge that are in your life. You don't have the perfect life. Nobody does. All right, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, I wish I won the lottery. Okay, great, but you're never gonna win the lottery. If you do, congratulations. I learned a long time ago, I'm never gonna win the lottery, man. So whatever. But if I could look at the things every single day and just tell myself what I'm thankful for. Maybe you've got some beautiful kids. Maybe you've made some great strides in your career. Maybe some of you have lost a ton of weight. Maybe you guys have gotten out of a really bad relationship and you're in a better place now. If you can, even on a daily basis and the first thing in the morning, just sit there and recognize a few things that you're grateful for. I know it sounds crazy, but it really makes a difference of how you go about viewing life the rest of the day. Because sometimes you don't realize how fortunate you really are to be able to get up and have a day when some people don't have one to begin with, and they're, on their deathbed, or they're 5 years old and they have a terminal illness that they can't recover from. That's what really makes us thankful for our lives after a while, because it's like, wow, like I could be in that situation and I'm not. There is a gratitude journal that, if you wanted to pick one up, I believe it's called the 5-minute journal. It does some affirmations, has you jot down the things each morning. It takes only about 5 minutes a day, what you're grateful for, and today I will, and like, how do you want to live your life today? What type of mindset, what type of energy, what type of spirit, how do you want to live your life? And believe it or not, start the day off on the right foot. It's similar to any of you that have woken up first thing in the morning and went to the gym. How much energy do you have for the rest of the day? Because it's like your mind, the gym is like your mind and your body going to the spa. You get to think about things, you listen to your music, you get your energy out, and the rest of the day just seems to roll, right? Similar to the same thing with gratitude. If you're not aware of the things that you are to be thankful for, you're never going to recognize it, and you're only going to be looking at the things you don't have. And when you pay attention to the things you don't have, it makes you miserable. If you have a goal and you're on your way and it's motivating you, that's different. But if you're going to sit there and nitpick things and hate on people, that's just going to make you miserable. No one likes a Debbie Downer. And don't be a volunteer victim, because nobody likes those either, right? Generosity. I don't know how everybody feels about this, but I think this is a big one. Giving is fulfillment. Have you ever gave to somebody in need that was less fortunate than you were, and then after you did something for them, it could be giving someone money, it could be giving them advice, maybe you're in a professional trade where you just help someone for free, and they were so appreciative of what you did for them that it just made your day. It felt so good. It is psychologically proven that generosity and giving, especially to those that are in need, does bring a sense of fulfillment, because now you're giving back to the world. You're doing something good for the world when you don't have to. You can have millions of dollars, you can have all the knowledge in the world, and you could just say, fuck you, I'm not doing anything for you, I worked hard for this. It's a terrible mindset to have, because you could do so many good things with that knowledge and that money. And maybe you're so much better at something than other people. You could be giving to people. And that works into that abundance mindset, to where it gets you to that place of energy and happiness, right? Personal development, which is leveling up. Every day you want to ask yourself, what could I do to be the best version of myself today? What could I change? And sometimes it's just small things. I know I should be getting up and taking the extra 20 minutes to do this, but I want to sleep, right? If you're really serious about accomplishing your goals and leveling up, those small little shifts will take you there long term. Don't be so short-sighted. Just remember remember we talked about 2mm shifts over a long period of time make a huge difference. So if you're able to have that discipline where you go, your alarm goes off and you know that you wanted to get up early today, but I can sleep for another half an hour. Listen, I hate to be one of those people. I could sleep 12 hours a day. Literally, I can sleep 12 hours a day. I hate it. I wish I was one of those people that only needed to sleep 4 hours a day and pop up like a spring chicken and go do what I have to do. But I'm not. It requires all of my energy to get out of bed every morning, not because I'm depressed, but because I could sleep for 12 hours a day, but I don't have 12 hours a day to sleep. So I don't have a choice. So I have to kick that leg out. And there's a couple of apps that actually make you walk around for 20, 30 steps and the alarm won't go off until you do them. That was very helpful for me too. But you always want to ask yourself, how could I be the best version? Like, how could I treat people today? What makes me happy? How does treating other people, what kind of person do I want to look like today, right? And that all goes into the energy that you put out attract others. So have you ever had somebody that walked into the room and you just felt like a black cloud? Like this person, I don't know what's with this person, but like the whole room just got like, the morale got killed as soon as they walked in the room. Maybe it's a boss, maybe it's an associate, maybe it's just a random friend of a friend or a family member. Now, me as a business owner, I have to have the discipline to say, no matter what I'm going through, no matter what happened the night before, these employees rely on me. So I've got to find a way to get my mind and my shit together because I don't have a choice. If I walk in that door at 7:30 in the morning to meet with all these people and get their minds right at the beginning of the day, and my energy sucks, everyone else's energy is going to suck for the entire day. Performance is down, their mindset is shot, and their morale sucks too, because they look to you as a leader and they feed off your energy. If your energy is put out in a positive way, everyone will have a better day. I know it sounds crazy, but if you've ever had a job where you had a miserable boss, you can understand how a miserable mindset from a boss makes everyone in the place miserable. And that's when it becomes a toxic work environment, which nobody really likes, but at least I hope none of you guys like that, because I know I don't. So that's gonna bring us to point number 5, which is living in the present. I did notice from a lot of people and a lot of clients that I've had in the past, you spend so much time worrying about things that never end up happening. So even in a relationship, some people get so fixated on, I don't want to lose this person, they're going to cheat on me. So, you get so anxious and you try to prevent these things from happening, and you spend so much time, energy, anxiety, fear, and you just get all worked up over something that never ends up happening. And then if it does happen, when it does, you're like, wow, that wasn't so bad. Yeah, because it's more agonizing thinking about something that's gonna happen than it actually happening. Because when it does happen, you get your shit together and you figure it out, and you know what, that wasn't that bad. I was like that for a long time too, and I got to the point, I'm like, so many things were going on in my life at one point, I'm like, I just physically do not have the mental capacity to handle it at this point. So living in the present, listen, whatever happens, happens. You can't force other people to act a certain way. People are gonna do what they wanna do, regardless of what you say, so why care? I mean, maybe some people may be worried that their significant other may cheat on them or something. Listen, if they do, they do. In my view, life happens for you, not to you. And if they're gonna do that to you, and you're a great person, which you all definitely are great people, they're doing you a favor because they're not wasting your time. Is it better that they just did it a week from now, or is it better they do it 20 years from now and you wasted 20 years of your life finding and staying with somebody that ended up being with a piece of shit? So you have an option now. You can sit there worrying about it until it happens. Hopefully it never happens. You always explain it best, but or you can live in the present. Enjoy it. Enjoy your life now. If it happens, it happens. So what? Like, I'm not a bad person. I could find somebody else. I could find another job. I'm just gonna do the best I can today, and if someone doesn't appreciate it, screw them. I'm gonna live my life today, and I'm gonna deal with things in waves as they come. The further you think in the future, the more anxiety you're gonna cause yourself. And everyone tries to wrap their arms around something and say, I want that. And then they end up making it happen anyway, because they're not acting genuine. They're acting overbearing. They're self-sabotaging, basically. You will self-sabotage if you're living in the future and you're a fortune teller, because I know this is gonna happen. How do you know? You're gonna spend the next 2 weeks worrying about something that never even happened? How many of you got so stressed out because someone didn't answer one of your messages and you thought that they were mad at you, and you spent the whole day stressing out over it for someone to be like, oh, sorry, man, my phone died, or oh, sorry, man, I was busy. And then you're like, oh, this whole time I thought they were mad at me. Who cares? What got me mad at you for? You deal with it if they're mad at you. And then you can tell them, hey, you don't have any, and just get into it, whatever the case may be. So again, to be in the abundance mindset, you want to have the belief that you have the resources to do what you need to do. You want to get out of that mind shift where it's like, I don't have time, I don't have the option, I don't have the resources. Because if you look at it that way, you're never going to do anything because you think it's hopeless, right? So at the end of the day, guys, just make sure each day you're making the effort to change your language from I have to I get to. Affirmations are huge. Focus on what you really have and what you have to appreciate. Otherwise, you're never going to appreciate it. That's why the other videos we have on the channel are so great for first thing in the morning. Get your mind motivated. Get your mind shift to kind of think about things a different way. It's big for me. Even if I feel like I don't need it, sometimes I do it, especially when I'm doing cardio at the gym once I'm done lifting. Thank you guys for joining me for another video back here in the office. If you have any questions or you want to drop a comment as to something we spoke about or something you'd like me to cover in the future, feel free to. If not, check you guys on the next video.